Alright guys, how we doing? Welcome back to the channel, and what in the RGB gamer lamp, upside down berry blast, ice cream cone, Megamind? What is this guy? This, of course, is Mega Malamar, and I'm just going to put it out there, guys, off the bat. This is probably my favorite Mega Evolution that's been revealed so far. I think they're doing a really good job actually with the Kalosian Mega Evolutions. So what is the story behind this guy? I mean, first of all, guys, let me know down in the comments below, off the bat, do you like this or do you hate this? I think this is awesome, man. So let's have a look at this guy in game before we dive into the backstory and how this guy was revealed. What I find interesting is, I don't know if that was just subtle, but it looks to me like our main character here, who I've said already, I think this is one of the best designed protagonists in Pokemon main series history, to be honest. Anyway, he looks a bit dazed. Do you not think he looks a bit like he's in a trance? And this is the whole story behind Mega Malamar. So you can see him walking around with the Malamar here. He looks at his trainer and he's like, should we scrap this Charizard? Mega Evolution takes place, and look at this guy in the game engine. Finally a Mega that actually looks amazing in the game engine. Now it's got this sort of more naturally flat design. I just want to rewind this to here because you see that kind of like neon lava lamp looking fluid running through its body. It's got this like translucent body with this colorful energy that seems to be radiating from inside it. Now, I think this is supposed to be based on a giant phantom jellyfish. So this right here, guys, I'm going to open this in a tab so I'm not blocking it. This is a giant phantom jellyfish. There are lots of pictures on Google where they're kind of like grey looking. I think largely because these guys are found deeply underwater. But yeah, this is definitely, I believe, the animal that this Malamar guy is, or this Mega Malamar design is based off. See the resemblance there? So that is, I think, the animal that this guy is based off. I don't know if original Malamar, which is far less slender, by the way, original Malamar, it's a bit more rotund a little bit. This guy becomes really sort of like narrow and kind of, I don't know, worm-like in the actual torso area, whereas his brain becomes absolutely massive. It says Mega Evolution has caused its brain to enlarge and its body to glow brightly in vivid colors. That's why I like it so much. I like the RGB aesthetic anyway. You can probably tell by some of the sort of like pink and blue lighting that I've got going on in the office a lot of the time. I like the gamer aesthetic, okay? Mega Evolution has caused its brain to enlarge and its body to glow brightly in vivid colors. Then you see the version of it with its kind of like these baton twirly, I don't know what these are, like scythes almost, that seem to be made up of its tentacles. I don't know what exactly this is supposed to be. Is it energy or is it part of its physical body? It releases psychic power from the luminescent tips of its tentacles to hypnotize others. So there's a real emphasis on the hypnotism abilities of Mega Malamar here. You can see its eyes look a little bit kind of crazed here, maybe a little bit deranged. It actually is putting its tentacles into its own head, activating its own brain. And it says here it can stick its tentacles into its head and stimulate its brain for a rapid boost of psychic power. Very interesting. We see it here taking on a Alakazam. Interesting choice of Pokemon here. And it says just finally, Mega Malamar attacks with a sudden burst of concentrated psychic power. So I have really mixed feelings on these. Oh, that came really loud. I have really mixed feelings on these promo videos. We had this one where we had a news reporter who's been reflecting on what we've been seeing over the last few days. So this trainer that you see right here, I'm going to close this, was apparently, well, this was the trainer of Mega Malamar, which we'll see in a second. We had these various characters. We had this woman who is apparently a Dedenne trainer who got hypnotized into like making a Malamar mural outside with graffiti. We had a taxi driver who who saw Mega Evolution happen in his wing mirror. If you see behind him here, you see the coloration of the Mega Evolution phenomenon happening. You see all the lights reflecting, and he's kind of like engrossed and enchanted by the coloration of Mega Malamar. And then finally you had this CEO who did the My Friend Malamar frickin' dance, which has been in my head for about a week now, this guy. And then the reporter finally goes to the trainer, who then apologizes that she mega evolved her Malamar and it's been having this adverse effect on people. You see it here, similar to how Hawlucha was revealed and Victory Bell was revealed in these sort of short cinematics. We see it out of game here. So this is the unrestricted realization of Mega Malamar. We saw with Hawlucha how there were a lot of textures of sort of gold sequins on its plate around its neck. That didn't translate very well into the actual engine of Pokémon Legends Z-A. Even on the Switch 2, it was just this sort of flat block color texture. And Malamar here doesn't suffer so much because it's meant to be a smooth-skinned kind of being. It does, though, in this cinematic render, look a little bit better than it does in ZA, but you see it hypnotizing with the swirling of its... I love this. I think this is great. Kind of looks a little bit evil there, but I think this is a really great looking Pokemon, and I don't know if it's just my bias about liking multicolored things, and I just like life and brightness and color and just the vivid look of this guy. That's what's making me like it a lot, I think. Guys, what do you think of Mega Malamar? Let me know. This is what I found interesting as well. We see these cinematics. This is kind of like, I suppose, a photo mode from the developers. They're going into the game engine and showing us these clips. But what I find interesting about this gameplay footage that contains Mega Malamar is some of the expressions on the characters. We saw Dragonite there kind of being hypnotized, which I think is just what happens when Pokemon get status conditioned in the battle engine. I think it's just using a kind of developer, like I say, photo mode to show us that close up. But then later on, this is its trainer. So it's implying here that we are the trainer of Mega Malamar. But then watch this. That facial expression right there, I really think that's a positive sign, because we haven't seen too much facial expressions of this kind of level. And I know it's a really quick, short thing. I think this might have been cut. Like, I don't think it really is him being hypnotized. I think this is probably a cutscene that's been spliced together. I'm not quite sure. But if our trainers could have these kinds of emotional facial reactions to different things in this world, like, I hope the world is super interactive. And, you know, if you throw Mega Malamar out of its Pokeball and you're just walking around with it, if that's even possible, it would be cool if this kind of thing could play out as a little kind of Easter egg almost. Yeah, the next thing they've got to do is stop having these characters have like Omni teeth, where it's just like a white accent. Like they just have one massive long tooth at the bottom, at the top, and then one massive long tooth at the bottom as well. That kind of annoys me. I hope in Gen 10 that gets fixed. And then it cuts to this kind of like, yeah, this idea that the trainer is kind of under the spell. He's swaying. Again, I don't know if this is like an in-game thing that actually happens if you have a Malamar on your team, or if they've just done this purely for cinematic effect somehow within the cinematic engine, within the game engine, sorry, of Legends Z-A. But this possibly could be a positive sign that there's a bit more immersion, attention to detail, and cool stuff like this that can happen in different scenarios when your character is exposed to different scenarios. Anyway, guys, 16th of October, how many more Megas are going to be revealed and announced before then? Is it going to be all of them? Again, by the way, guys, spoiler alert, again, click away if you don't want to hear about the Mega list that has been leaked for many months now. But I will say this is now the fourth Pokemon that has been revealed to have a Mega evolution that has been from the list of alleged leaked Megas. So again, this is just another signal that that leaked list was absolutely correct. So you can imagine that that list does contain all of the confirmed Mega evolutions, at least that leaker is aware of. There might be more hidden in the code, more in the DLC. We'll talk about the DLC, by the way, in a video coming very soon. But anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts on Mega Malamar. My friend Malamar, what are we thinking, guys? Rate it out of 10. Can you guys in the comments give me your rating, your ranking of each of the 4 Mega designs: Victory Bell, Dragonite, Hawlucha, Malamar? Rank them in order. I'd love to see your ranking lists. We've got a video coming tomorrow around the potential release of a new Pokemon spin-off game that allegedly is going to be announced on Friday the 12th in the Nintendo Direct. So stay tuned for that, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Love you, gang.